everyone, I'm Roshan Jahan Ahmed and I welcome you all to my channel. Today we're going to discuss about a new topic which is the preparation for civil services examination, the preliminary examination which is going to be conducted by Assam Public Service Commission. The dates are not announced yet, but it is assumed that it will be conducted anytime after the elections are over. So we have limited time and we need to focus on what kind of materials we need to have with us. But in today's video, we will focus not only on the short-term plan, that is the preparation for the upcoming examination, but also for any other plan. For example, if you want to sit for the examination in the next year, then this video is also going to definitely help you. So let's start then. I have taken the handwritten note of the syllabus with me here, as you can see. So we will discuss the syllabus one by one, and for today we will just focus on the preliminary examination. And let me tell you that the whole examination pattern is now quite similar to UPSC. So if you are preparing for UPSC also, that means you are halfway there, because the material is quite similar and the pattern is quite similar. The recent changes have made APSC and UPSC quite similar in the pattern. So the examination pattern consists of two parts, part A and part B, and part A consists of the preliminary examination, part B the mains examination and the interview. So in part A there are two papers, okay? One is the paper 1, that is the general studies paper, and the paper 2, which is the aptitude paper. And these papers carry 200 marks of 2 hours duration each, but paper 2 is of qualifying nature, so you need to just pass the examination for paper 2, but for paper 1 scoring will be done. So let's start then. For paper 1, and in today's video we will discuss only paper 1, because we will discuss about paper 2 in our next video, because it will become quite lengthy otherwise. In paper 1, the very first topic that we have is current events of national and international importance. That means the current affairs we need to study. Current affairs which are of national as well as international importance. And for that, what you need to do is to read the newspaper daily. Okay? So you will have to have a daily newspaper with you, or more than one newspaper, for example one of the national level and another from your state. For example, I follow the Hindu newspaper on a regular basis and also the Assam Tribune for my state news. And both these newspapers are really helpful in keeping you updated about the important happenings that are occurring all around, both in the nation as well as in the international arena. So the newspaper on a daily basis, you can also refer to your internet version of the newspaper, but I personally prefer the hard copy of the newspaper. So along with the newspaper, what you can do is that you can have a monthly magazine. For example, I follow the Competition Success Review. Here is a copy of the magazine. You can also follow the Pratyogita Darpan, and there are other such magazines in the market which are available, which you can actually follow, but my personal preference is the Competition Success Review. Sometimes I do read the Pratyogita Darpan, but on a regular basis I prefer the Competition Success Review. So this is enough for your current events of national and international importance portion from paper 1. So we are done with topic 1. Now let's move to the next topic, which is History of India and Indian national movement. So let's start there. Now the history portion of the syllabus is quite tricky, in the sense that history portion is quite huge. If you refer to history of India, the history of India is divided into various phases, starting from the ancient phase and to the modern phase. So if you have to divide each phases, it becomes quite huge portion to study. So for the short term plan, I would suggest that you need not go for the various phases separately and deal with different books. But for the long term plan, you can actually buy books accordingly for the different phases separately and then study and make notes, etc. But for now, for the next upcoming examination, you can actually do one thing, that you can limit your study to any high school textbook which has the history portion and go through the portion given in the high school textbook. But for the long term plan, you can buy these books, as I will show you right here. So for ancient India portion, I have this book with me, which is by V.D. Mahajan, and this is from the Eschan publication. The name of the book is Ancient India. So you can have this book for your ancient India portion. Next, I have a book for medieval India portion, and which is History of Medieval India by Satish Chandra, and this is from the Orient Black Swan publication. This is also quite a good book for medieval portion of Indian history. Another famous book is this, which is History of Modern India by Bipin Chandra Sir. Bipin Chandra Sir has written this book, History of Modern India. So you can actually buy this book also. And then I have India's Struggle for Independence by Bipin Chandra Sir and other authors. And this book is quite important in the sense that our syllabus says History of India and Indian National Movement. So special focus is on the Indian National Movement, and this book thoroughly deals with the Indian National Movement. So you can go through this book and make separate notes for this particular portion of your syllabus. So this is quite an important book. And for the portion after independence, you can actually have this book. As you can see, this is quite a voluminous book, but this is important. I haven't actually completed reading this book yet. It is written by Ramachandra Guha sir. The name of the book is India After Gandhi. And for your mains perspective also, this book is very important. And you should remember one point, that all these books are going to help you for your mains examination also. So for history portion, these are the part that you can refer to. But for your upcoming examination, please limit your study to any high school textbook or a guidebook which has got only the concise concept for Indian history portion. So that's all for History of India and Indian National Movement. So the next topic that we have here is the Indian and World Geography, Physical, Social, Economic Geography of India and the World. So they have divided the geography portion into physical, social and economic geography, and that too of India as well as the world. So here what you can do is that you can have this book. It is quite a popular book again by McGraw-Hill Education publication, and it has been authored by Majid Hussain sir, and the name of the book is Indian and World Geography. So there are two parts in this book, one catering to Indian geography and the other to world geography. And as it is mentioned here, for civil services preliminary and main examination. So this is also going to be helpful for your mains examination. So you can have this book. And other than this, what you can do is you can refer to the NCERT textbooks. Now here I want to mention that, as you can see, I have these NCERT textbooks with me, and these are not only for this geography portion but also for economics portion. And why do we need the NCERT textbook? Because for any competitive examination such as the civil services examination or UGC NET examination, the best strategy is to actually start from the basics. So if you start from the basics, it is easy for you to understand the topics well. So once your foundation or base is done, you can then move on to the the standard books that are available in the market, which are of huge volumes. But if you go through the textbooks first, okay, you will have a fair idea about the topics beforehand. So these are the NCERT textbooks which are from standard. With me here I have from standard 9 to 12, and also the social science textbooks I have collected from my cousins, as you can see. So this is from class standard 6, another is from standard 7, and another is from standard 8. So for 6, 7, 8, I have the social science textbooks with me, because these books have the history portion also. Then you have the civics or the political science portion, and the economics portion, and the geography portion. So these three standard textbooks, and then you have the NCERT textbooks for 9, 10, 11 and 12 for geography, economics, I have not bought for history and political science, but only for geography and economics. But you can go for the history and civics portion as well. So for geography, you can have this contemporary India plus 9, and then we have contemporary India 2. This is from class 9 and 10, and then we have fundamentals of physical geography 11th and fundamentals of human geography 12th. So these are actually helpful for your physical, social and economic geography as given in your syllabus. So this is for your easy understanding of the topics from each section of your syllabus. So this is all for geography. Now we will move to the next topic, which is Indian polity and governance, constitution, political system, Panchayati Raj, public policy, rights issues, etc. So now let me tell you that I have two books with me for this, but majority of the candidates follow this book, which is Indian Polity for Civil Services Examination, and the author is M. Lakshmikant. And this book is actually very important, and this is very systematic and organized. And when I knew that this book is quite popular among students and this is actually in demand, I purchased this book, and I have just given one or two readings of this book completely. So I have yet to grasp the whole thing properly. So a thorough reading of this book is very important. If you are done with this book, that means your polity is also done. You can refer to any other materials also along with this, but this is enough for me, actually more than enough for me. And before this, I had bought this book because I had gone through some of the interviews of other toppers, previous toppers, and I came to know that they followed Dr. Durgadas Basu's Introduction to the Constitution of India. So this is also a very popular book, but after buying this book, when I again came to know about this book, I somehow stopped reading this book and I went with this. But this is also a very good book. So these two books I have with me for Indian polity portion, and also from the social studies textbooks. When you study, you will already have a fair idea about Indian polity and most importantly the Constitution of India. So we are done with this topic also, that is Indian polity. Now let's move to the next topic, which is economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographics, social sector initiatives, etc. Now for economics, which is actually a bit difficult for me, I find it difficult to grasp at times. I'm sure for others it's quite easy also, and but for me it's quite difficult. So I had these books with me: economics textbook for class 9 and understanding economic development social science textbook for class 10, and then I have this book called Indian economic development from class 11, and I have this India people and economy textbook. Okay, this is for geography. But this actually deals with the economics portion, so I have this book also for my economics portion. So you can have this NCERT textbooks for your economics reading, but again, during my college days I had this knack of buying all the books necessary according to the syllabus. So I had got this book, which is, as you can see, quite a huge portion, Dutt and Sundaram's Indian Economy. This was again purchased on the basis of the interviews by toppers. So I had got this book then by Gaurav Dutt and Ashwini Mahajan. So Dutt and Sundaram's Indian Economy. So as you can see, quite a huge portion again, and for a thorough reading, and one who is a serious candidate would not shy away from actually studying such kind of books. So this is for Indian economy. But for the upcoming examination, I am not sure if I will study this book or not. This is a frank admittance here. Now let's move to the next portion, which is general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity, and climate change that do not require subject specialization. So, as I have told you that I had bought all the books necessary for the syllabus according to the UPSC preliminary examination, and which is now actually similar to the APSC syllabus. So, yes, for general issues on environmental ecology, I had got this book, which is Environment and Ecology, Biodiversity, Climate Change, and Disaster Management for Civil Services Examination, as mentioned here. And this is again by Majid Hussain sir. And this is again a very good book on environmental science or environmental issues. But again, it's up to you. If you don't want to buy this book or any other book of this nature, you can have a thorough reading of your high school environmental science book. So that will also do, and keep yourself updated regarding the current events which are happening in the field of environmental reforms, for example, or the various conventions that happen annually or um, after every 2 years, etc. So keep yourself updated regarding those conventions on environmental reform. So that will do for your this portion of the syllabus. And the last portion from the syllabus is general science. And for general science, you can have a thorough reading of a high school general science textbook. For example, I have this class 7th science textbook with me. This is with a cover, and this is my own book from my school days. It was there with me, and that's why I'm referring to this. Then again, I have another book from the 8th standard general science, so you can also have a thorough reading of this book, which will help you in your general science preparation. From the mains perspective, I had bought this book, which is Science and Technology by Spectrum's publication. So you can have a book of this volume also, but for the upcoming examination I'm not going to study this. This is for the mains perspective. I'll keep this aside for now. And now let me touch upon the most important aspect of our discussion today, which is this point that 30 to 35% question in GS paper 1 will be related to Assam, because this is a state public service commission. The examination is of the state level, so you will have to have adequate knowledge about your state. So 30 to 35% of the questions will be from Assam related topics. So you can expect questions from Assam geography. You can also expect questions from Assam history, and also the economy of Assam and the polity in Assam. So what you can do is that you can have these books with you. For Geography of Assam, I have Geography of Assam, edited by Abani Kumar Bhagavati, Ashok K. Bora, Bimal K. Kar. So this is a compilation of various essays. I'll just mention here. There are a total of 15 chapters here. For example, we have the physical background, the drainage and flood situation in Assam, the forests in Assam, the biodiversity in Assam, population, urbanization, immigration, agriculture, etc. So separate chapters on each topic from Assam geography. So this book is also very good, and you can have this book. For history, Assam history, I had bought this book, A History of Assam by Sir Edward Gate. So you can also refer to this book, which is also quite a popular book and also a good book to read for your examination point of view. And then you can have an Assam GK handy by any publication. Okay, so I have this Assam mini GK with me, and the most important portion for Assam related topics, and right now I don't have the book with me. It's in my home, there in my hometown, so I don't have the book with me right now. That is Assam Yearbook. Okay, the latest volume of the Assam Yearbook. Please have a copy of the Assam Yearbook and please read it thoroughly, because that book is a compilation of all the topics related to Assam, be it Assam geography or Assam history or the current events or the economy of Assam, etc., the various tribes of Assam, and also there are topics related to Northeast India as a whole. So it is, for me, I would say that this is a compulsory step to do, which is to purchase the Assam yearbook. Okay, so if you have the Assam yearbook with you, please read it nicely. And for your APSC preliminary examination as well as UPSC preliminary examination, proper and intensive reading of all this portion will be enough for you to crack the examination in the very first attempt. So these are some of the tips from my side for you. I hope this video was helpful, and for more such videos, please subscribe to my channel. I'll come up with a new topic in my next video, and till then, take care and bye bye.